when I have a problem or I need a boost in confidence.
CBS Evening News anchor and managing editor Norah O'Donnell. Her reporting these last 5 years has been hard-hitting, historic, compassionate, and kind. She is so good at what she does. Let's take a look back.
Norah O'Donnell is making headlines once again, but this time, it's not for her sharp political reporting.
President Kamala Harris is hours away from officially becoming her party's nominee.
Tonight, the U.S. Army is responding to our exclusive CBS News investigation into sexual assault in the military.
Instead, it's the heartbreaking news of her serious health challenge. This diagnosis has changed the course of her life, and for a long time, fans were left wondering about her health with few answers. That is, until now. In a surprising and emotional moment, Norah has finally opened up about her battle, and what she revealed has left everyone stunned. What exactly did she share, and why has it captured so much attention? Join us as we uncover the truth about Norah O'Donnell's deadly diagnosis.
Thank you for joining us tonight. There's a great legacy here at CBS News of the finest journalists.
What Norah O'Donnell revealed about her diagnosis. According to Norah O'Donnell, it was her commitment to routine skin checkups that ultimately saved her life. She revealed that despite a gap between appointments, those regular visits had already created a pattern of monitoring that allowed her dermatologist to notice something unusual early enough. Norah admitted that at the time, she was simply following medical advice without thinking too deeply about it, but she later realized how critical those checkups had been in catching the cancer before it spread further. But as if that wasn't enough, Norah soon shared details about her diagnosis that left everyone in total shock. Stay tuned to find out exactly what she revealed. In another interview, Norah opened up about facing the most devastating experience of her life. This came the moment she found out about her diagnosis, describing it as one of the most terrifying instances of her life. Norah recalled receiving an urgent email from her dermatologist, a message that immediately sent her heart racing. In that email, she learned that a biopsy taken from her upper left back had tested positive for melanoma. She spoke of how the news left her stunned, suddenly confronting the reality that a silent danger had been growing on her body without her knowing. Norah further explained that her doctors wasted no time in outlining a course of action. They recommended swift treatment to remove the melanoma completely. She shared that the surgery required a deep incision into her back. Norah knew her cancer was serious, so she trusted her doctors to do what was necessary to help her get better. Additionally, Norah opened up about the emotional impact of hearing the word cancer associated with her own body. The diagnosis made her very scared. She was afraid for her health, future, and at the same worried about leaving her family behind. Norah shared her feelings of anxiety and sadness after the diagnosis. She struggled to cope with the uncertainty of her life, but that was not all. The diagnosis also affected her family in a way. She revealed that her husband was incredibly supportive, yet she could see the worry in his eyes that he tried to hide. What moved her the most, however, were the reactions of her children, especially her 9-year-old son. Norah recalled how he asked her if she was going to die, a question that struck her to the core and made her more determined than ever to fight with everything she had. She continued by sharing the surgery process and her eventual recovery. Just after the new year, Norah visited Dr. Hale's office to have her cancer removed. Dr. Hale carefully cut a 3-inch long piece of skin from the upper left corner of Norah's back. The incision required 25 stitches to close and would need a lot of care as it healed. Fortunately, Norah had plenty of help at home to make her recovery easier. Her daughters, Riley and Grace, took turns applying healing ointment to the scar on her back, helping with the areas she couldn't reach. After the procedure, the doctor reassured her that she was very lucky. The mole had been progressing, and if it had gone unnoticed for a few more months, the outcome could have been much worse. 5 months later, the scar on Norah's back remained bright red, easily visible if she were to wear a strapless dress. She accepted that the scar would likely always be there. Instead of feeling negative, Norah saw her experience as proof that early detection can save lives and might have saved hers. While the scar marked the end of a frightening chapter in her life, it also signaled the beginning of a new journey toward better health. Because her risk remains high, Norah revealed that she now visits Dr. Hale every 3 to 4 months for regular checkups. These visits often involve multiple biopsies to keep a close watch for anything unusual. At her most recent appointment, 2 biopsies were needed. She went on to reflect on her past behaviors, admitting that her melanoma had likely started growing years ago. She revealed that growing up in Texas, she spent countless days under the sun without proper skin protection. In her teenage years and early adulthood, she, like many others at the time, frequented tanning salons, unaware of the dangers. Norah acknowledged that these choices, common before the popularity of spray tans, had serious long-term consequences that she only came to understand much later. Following her reflections, Norah spoke about how her health practices had dramatically changed. She now takes skin protection very seriously. She continued her story by explaining how her experience transformed her into a vocal advocate for preventive health care. Beyond what she revealed about her diagnosis, her experience has made her a strong voice for skin cancer awareness and preventive health care. Let's find out how she is using her story to inspire and educate others. Norah O'Donnell's advocacy for cancer awareness. Following her diagnosis with melanoma, Norah O'Donnell has been vocal about the fight against cancer. Norah chose not to keep her experience private. Instead, she decided to use her voice to raise awareness, hoping that her story could save lives. Her immediate reaction was to tell people to take control of their health through simple, preventive measures. One of her strongest messages since her diagnosis has been the importance of regular dermatological checkups. Norah made it clear that her early detection was purely because of a routine skin screening she scheduled without expecting anything unusual. She explained that the mole located on her upper back was something she could not have seen herself, making the visit to a dermatologist crucial. This checkup led not only to her diagnosis, but to her full recovery after surgery. Throughout interviews and public discussions, Norah said that no one should wait until they suspect something is wrong. Regular checkups can uncover hidden dangers before they become life-threatening. In addition, Norah used her national platform at CBS News to spearhead awareness campaigns about early detection. She knew that sharing statistics alone would not create the emotional impact needed to change behavior. Instead, she chose to open up about her own fears and uncertainties during the days leading up to her diagnosis. By sharing her personal experience with millions of viewers, she aimed to humanize the issue, encouraging others to prioritize their health without shame or delay. Moreover, Norah strengthened her fight against skin cancer by collaborating closely with the Skin Cancer Foundation. Understanding that partnerships with established organizations could amplify her message, she joined forces with the foundation to promote educational campaigns across various media. She participated in public service announcements, lending her trusted voice to highlight facts about skin cancer prevention, statistics on diagnosis rates, and the significance of early screenings. Her collaboration gave greater credibility to her advocacy, ensuring that her message reached individuals who might not otherwise have prioritized skin health. At the same time, she dedicated time to hosting educational segments on CBS This Morning, discussing her journey from diagnosis to recovery. During one especially memorable segment, Norah sat down with medical experts to discuss melanoma, breaking down symptoms, risk factors, and the importance of catching it early. She even allowed cameras to document her own surgical scar. Her willingness to expose her vulnerability became a key part of her educational mission, as viewers could see not just a news anchor, but a real person who had faced cancer head-on. She didn't stop there. Norah extended her advocacy beyond television by writing personal essays and op-eds that recounted her experience. In articles published across major outlets, Norah detailed how easy it is for busy professionals to neglect regular checkups and how important it is to make health a priority. Likewise, in keeping with her focus on prevention, Norah also became a passionate promoter of sun safety practices. Recognizing that sun exposure is a leading cause of skin cancer, she frequently spoke about the necessity of wearing sunscreen daily, not just at the beach, but every day, year-round. She championed the use of wide-brimmed hats, UV protective clothing, and avoiding prolonged exposure to midday sun. Through interviews and her social media platforms, she shared easy-to-follow tips on how to integrate sun safety into daily life. Norah was also deeply committed to reaching out to underdiagnosed groups, particularly older men, whose statistics show are at a heightened risk for melanoma, yet are the least likely to get screened. She specifically directed some of her messages to this demographic, urging them to overcome any reluctance or feelings of invulnerability. She pointed out that research shows men over 50 often ignore warning signs or delay seeing a doctor. At the same time, Norah's openness helped break the stigma surrounding skin cancer diagnoses. For a long time, many people viewed skin cancer as less serious than other types, often associating it with cosmetic concerns rather than life-threatening illness. By sharing the emotional turmoil she experienced, the fear, the sense of vulnerability, and the moments of doubt, Norah challenged these misconceptions. She made it clear that skin cancer is not only real, but can be deadly if ignored. Her candidness created a space for others to talk about their experiences without shame, fostering a more supportive environment for those affected. But then, Norah's commitment went beyond raising awareness. She took action by participating in fundraising efforts for cancer research. She joined the Walk All Over Cancer campaign, rallying friends, family, and fans to support vital research initiatives. Through her fundraising page, she shared personal messages explaining why cancer research mattered so deeply to her. All of these efforts reflected Norah's personal fight against cancer after her recovery. But now that she has overcome such a life-changing experience, many wonder, what is Norah O'Donnell doing today? Stay tuned to find out. What is Norah O'Donnell doing now? Norah O'Donnell launched her journalism career at Roll Call, where she worked as a staff writer covering Congress. Her reporting on Capitol Hill politics at a young age helped her build a strong foundation in political journalism. Following her time at Roll Call, she joined NBC News, where she spent 12 years working across multiple divisions and shows. At NBC, Norah served as a commentator for The Today Show, bringing political analysis to a wide national audience. She was appointed chief Washington correspondent for MSNBC, offering in-depth coverage of the White House and Capitol Hill. O'Donnell also worked as White House correspondent for NBC News, where she covered major political events, including presidential elections and legislative battles. In addition to her reporting, she anchored Weekend Today and contributed regularly to MSNBC Live. During this period, she also made frequent appearances on Hardball with Chris Matthews, occasionally filling in as host, and was a regular pundit on The Chris Matthews Show. While at NBC, O'Donnell contributed to several major broadcasts, including NBC Nightly News, Dateline NBC, and The Today Show. Her versatility across breaking news, investigative reporting, and political commentary helped her stand out within the network. Later on, Norah transitioned to CBS News. Shortly after joining, she filled in for Scott Pelley on the CBS Evening News, signaling her growing role within the organization.
CBS Evening News context and depth and clarity like we've never had before.
Around the same period, she was appointed CBS News Chief White House Correspondent. During this time, she reported extensively on the Obama administration and the presidential campaign. Soon after, she became co-anchor of CBS This Morning, joining Charlie Rose and Gayle King. Her tenure at CBS This Morning helped the program grow in ratings and credibility as it focused on harder news compared to its competitors. Several years later, CBS News announced that O'Donnell would take over as anchor and managing editor of the CBS Evening News. She also became CBS's lead anchor for political events, including election night coverage, debates, and major breaking news. O'Donnell continued contributing to 60 Minutes, one of the most prestigious investigative journalism platforms on television. When she officially took over the CBS Evening News, O'Donnell became only the third woman in history to anchor the show on weeknights, following Connie Chung and Katie Couric. Her move to the anchor desk also included relocating the CBS Evening News broadcast from New York to Washington, making it the only major network evening newscast based in the nation's capital at the time. Not long before starting her new position, her final broadcast of CBS This Morning aired. The shift represented a major realignment within CBS News leadership, as the network sought to strengthen its national news brand under her leadership. In a later development, O'Donnell renewed her contract with CBS News to continue as anchor of the CBS Evening News through the next presidential election and beyond. Under her leadership, the show emphasized exclusive interviews, investigative reporting, and coverage of major political events. More recently, she conducted a high-profile interview with the then Pope Francis, in Vatican City for 60 Minutes. The interview made international headlines when Pope Francis spoke candidly about controversial topics, including surrogacy, same-sex marriage, and the role of women in the Catholic Church. It was a rare and historic conversation, adding to Norah's reputation for securing major exclusives. A few months after the interview, Norah announced that she would step down from the CBS Evening News after the United States presidential election. She stated that after stepping down, she would continue her work at CBS News as a senior correspondent, allowing her to focus more on investigative journalism and special reports. She later confirmed that her final broadcast as anchor would take place just before a major sports tournament to accommodate CBS's live event coverage. Beyond her career, Norah's personal life is rooted in strong family ties. She splits her time between Washington and New York City's Upper West Side with her husband, restaurateur Jeff Tracy, owner of the popular Chef Jeff's restaurants in the D.C. area. They met while attending Georgetown University and married shortly after graduation. Together, they have 3 children. Several years into motherhood, Norah and Tracy co-authored a cookbook titled Baby Love: Healthy, Easy, Delicious Meals for Your Baby and Toddler. The book was based on their experiences raising young children and features recipes aimed at helping parents prepare nutritious meals. Norah's professional accolades are extensive. She was named one of Washington's 100 most powerful women by Washingtonian magazine and was included in Irish America magazine's list of the top 100 Irish Americans. Her journalistic work has earned her several major awards. She won the Sigma Delta Chi Award for breaking news coverage for her role in Dateline NBC's report DC in Crisis, which aired the night of the September 11th attacks.
Since the 9/11 attacks in New York, indelibly in public memory.
Her contributions to NBC's election night coverage earned her an Emmy Award in the category of Outstanding Live Coverage of a Breaking News Story, long form. Later on, while at CBS News, she won an Emmy Award for Outstanding Investigative Report in a newscast for her 6-month investigation into assault at the U.S. Air Force Academy, aired on CBS This Morning. The report also received an honorable mention from the White House Correspondents Association for the Edgar Allan Poe Award. Throughout her career, Norah O'Donnell has consistently combined sharp political insight with a strong commitment to journalistic integrity. Today, she is one of the leading figures in American broadcast journalism. What do you think of Norah O'Donnell's experience with a life-threatening diagnosis. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Also, click on the next video on your screen. You won't want to miss it.